Open up the window. I'm breathing in the last of September.
Hi sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here for today's fall shop with me at Michael's. I thought I would bring you along and show you some of the gorgeous new pieces that Michael's has to offer. I'm going to start off with the ribbon. I always love to add seasonal ribbon to my decor, and they had some stunning ones this year. I love all the leaf patterns on here, and I love to add these into my garlands, my wreaths. There's so many ways that you can incorporate ribbon, and this Thankful ribbon was one of my favorites. This beautiful basket really caught my eye. All the details on it was so gorgeous. I also thought the shape was really unique and different, as well as the pattern on it. It's so gorgeous. This would be perfect in any space for fall decor, and I was envisioning filling this with pumpkins or some gorgeous fall stems. One of the things that I really noticed at Michael's for their fall decor this year was a lot of wood pieces, which bring so much warmth and texture into a home. So I was really loving that. They also had a lot of moody colors, which again bring in those cozy fall feels. Their baskets are always so perfect, I find. This one was so different and unique also. I love the darker wooden tone as well as the jute rope handles. It's so gorgeous. I know that a lot of people tend to decorate with copper or rose gold around the fall season, and they did have a few options if that's something that you really like to incorporate into your decor. Starting with this two-tiered stand, this would be so cute in a kitchen or anywhere you want to display little knickknacks, as well as this gather sign, so stunning. They also had these wooden pumpkins with the leaf cutouts. These are so great. You can add these really to any space just to add a little bit of warmth. Michael's does usually always have a lot of signs, cutesy signs, and I know these aren't for everybody, but I think they're really sweet just to add them throughout the home and give it a really homey feel. These baskets were also so stunning. They had them in two sizes. I was trying to show the size comparison, but I love that you could display these on a cabinet or you could even hang them on a wall just to again bring in some texture and warmth. I spotted this gorgeous print as soon as I came down the aisle, and it really spoke to me. The pumpkins, the pumpkin patch, everything about this was so perfect. I was really tempted to pick this up. It was $39.99, I believe, Canadian. But I did hold back. I will tell you the pieces that I did pick up today as I showcase them, but I really did hold back. I'm kind of waiting till everything goes on sale for buy one, get one free, but I did have coupons that I used today for 40% off, so that's still a great deal. I'm sorry if my voice is still not 100%. Unfortunately, I did get sick over a week ago now, and I've been so sick. It's been awful. I still don't feel back to myself. I'm still recovering. I have really low energy, and I feel so exhausted. But hopefully, I'll be back to normal soon, and I can bring you lots of gorgeous fall content. This peg rack was so stunning. I was so tempted to bring this home, but I really didn't have a spot that I could utilize it. But it would look so perfect in a front entryway with some baskets or a hat hanging on it. It's so perfect for fall. At first I thought this was just a wooden pumpkin, but it's actually a candle and it smelled so amazing. I didn't see a ton of candles out on this day that I went shopping, but I'm sure they're going to add more. But again, so precious. And then they had some really pretty bowls as well as plates in this really simple pumpkin design. Again, I thought these would be so pretty for a table setting on your island. You could really use it anywhere for fall as well as Thanksgiving. And they were such a great size. You could tell they were really good quality. They were heavy. And I believe they ranged from $12.99 to $14.99. I also loved this turkey platter. This little vignette that they had up was so perfect with all the fall colors. The leaves with the border in the wood trim was so stunning, so cozy and warm. And then they had these beads in the burgundy and more of the orangey yellow color. I got a pair of these last year in a green, and they're so great for layering. So I did have to pick up this print. I absolutely fell in love with it. It was so huge. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to hold it up for comparison, and it does have the wooden border also. This was $59.99 Canadian, but I had a 40% off coupon, and I cannot wait to style that. They also had these cute pictures with turkey, and I think this is a guinea fowl. I'm not sure. You guys have told me before, and I always forget the name of it, so let me know in the comments. They again had these cute little glass pumpkins. I'm not sure if these are for on top of a plate because the bottom was cut out. And then they did have, again, these cute little leaf candle holders. I believe they had these last year, and I've seen similar ones at the dollar store. And then another piece that I did have to bring home with me on this day was this candle holder. Everything about this was so gorgeous. I think I'm going to put this on the mantle with some flameless flickering candles. And I think this will look so gorgeous in the evenings on my fall mantle. They did have these wine bottle stoppers in a turkey and the pumpkin. How adorable are these? So cute. And then I love this burnt orange pillow that says thankful. It was so soft. Again, I was tempted to bring this home, but I did leave it for this trip. So if you watch my channel regularly, you would know that I love creating beautiful tablescapes on my island as well as my dining room table. And these chargers were so beautiful. I love that dark woody tone, and I thought they would be so pretty layered with those gorgeous pumpkin plates. Another piece that I thought was so stunning and different was this cutting board. It had so many gorgeous details. I love the little grommets on the side as well as a jute rope. This would be so gorgeous on a kitchen table or propped up against the backsplash. I was dreaming about getting that one. It was a little bit pricier, so I did hold off. And this tray was so stunning. The leaf pattern was embossed not only on the bottom of the tray, but on the whole entire tray, which I thought was so unique. Again, like I've mentioned, they do have all their cutesy little signs, which I love adding to my own decor personally, but I know some people aren't a fan of the signs. I have so many that I've collected throughout the years, so I definitely didn't need another one, but they do have so many options, as well as these gorgeous pumpkins in the velvet texture. They had them in the smaller sizes, which these ones wear, and then they also had them in the larger ones. I definitely don't need any more pumpkins. I have probably 4 or 5 bins of pumpkins, but these ones were so stunning and would look so gorgeous really in any room. If you love more of a glass pumpkin look, they did have 3 different colors. This one was my favorite, that burnt orange. I have a lot of fabric pumpkins, not as many of the glass ones, but I thought those were so unique and pretty. I also love these little turkeys. They would be so cute for a Thanksgiving tablescape, as well as these cornucopia baskets. I do have one really similar to this, but this always reminds me of Thanksgiving. My mom always had the cornucopia baskets out, and then she would put some faux fruits in them. So I love those. And this candle was gorgeous. It was cinnamon whipped honey. It smelled amazing. I absolutely fell in love with this print. I was trying not to get a reflection from all the lights in Michael's, but it was really hard to do. But it was so stunning with the wooden border and then that burnt orange grain. So gorgeous, as well as this really pretty leaf in the golden texture. This would be so cute to put your keys on your entryway table. Just so many uses for that. But we're going to go down to a different aisle. This had a lot of the florals in it, and they had these cute little mini wreaths, which I thought would be so pretty on the back of a dining room chair or maybe even on your kitchen cabinets. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you've done any fall shopping or if you're still enjoying summer and not even thinking about fall. I always like to bring you content earlier because I know that a lot of people don't start decorating until September, but that way you'll have lots of ideas when you do begin to decorate. Isn't this chestnut so cute? I think that's what it is, a chestnut or a walnut. So adorable. They also had a bunch of these little trays, so cute with the wooden bottoms on them, and this little pumpkin was so sweet. I thought this would look so cute on a shelf. I did stop and look at all their picks too. These are great for fillers for tiered trays or wreaths. You can really tuck them into anything, even existing garlands if you want to make them a little bit fuller. So I love to have these on hand. Aren't these little mushrooms so cute? I know some people love the mushroom trend. I'm not a huge fan, but I thought those ones were so cute. And I also love these little pumpkin picks. Michaels really did have a lot of baskets out this year, and I do typically thrift a lot of my baskets, but if there's some that really stand out or that are really unique, I will buy them. But I never buy anything full price, especially from Michaels. You can always get coupons. But this little basket purse was so cute. I love how structured it is, as well as the darker, richer, warmer color. And I could not resist this basket with the gingham on it and the bows. I did end up picking this up. I just thought it was so precious. So moving over to their vases, they did have quite a few in stock. I'm not even sure if this is all of the fall that was out because I did go a few weeks ago, so it's still quite early, but they did have a lot to choose from. This glass pumpkin was so pretty, and I loved these vases. I'm not even sure what you would call this, but the print on it was so pretty, and I think it would look so gorgeous with a candle, especially in the evening. These little pumpkin ones were so cute. You could definitely just turn them around if you didn't want to see the pumpkin decor. So I love when you can find items like this that you can use seasonally, but you can also use year round. They did have a lot of garlands out, as you can see, very neutral ones, and then some of the more classic ones that you see around fall. And then they did have some of these really cute little woodland creatures. I thought they were so adorable. They all had little different things. This one had a basket full of treats. I thought it was so cute. And then this little one had a fish. It looked like he'd been fishing. These would just be really adorable to add really to any space. I typically always buy a new seasonal doormat. They get kind of grungy after one season, so I do like to refresh them. And this Hello Pumpkin one was my absolute favorite. They also had a lot of stems to choose from. I feel like Michaels is always really good for having a large selection of stems. These ones were so pretty. I'm really loving this really burnt, I guess it's a burnt orange ready color. So perfect for fall, and you can just see how many florals they have here. There is so much to choose from. They also had some really gorgeous wreath hangers, and I love to add wreaths in my home, so it's fun to switch up the wreath hangers. There were so many to choose from. And then I'll just show a few of the wreaths. I typically don't buy the wreaths from Michaels. I find they're really expensive. I think most of these were $79.99, so even if you get them 40% off, they're still pricey compared to HomeSense or Marshalls, where I can typically find them for around $25. But I do think they're really stunning, and if there was one that I really loved, I might consider buying it, but typically I can find them for a lot cheaper at other stores. I hope you guys have enjoyed coming along with me to Michael's and seeing some of their new decor that they've put out. I hope to have a lot more fall content coming up in the coming weeks. But again, I just have not been feeling well. I still definitely don't feel back to normal. I don't know if you can hear it in my throat still, but I know it just takes time, and summer colds can be so awful. But I know I'll get better in time, and I do appreciate all of you that have been praying for me when I did put up that community post that I wasn't going to have a video up last week. So until the next video, friends, take care and God bless.